Good evening, YouTube. What the crap's going on? It's probably not evening, though, when you're watching this. Well, I guess it could be. I'm going to actually play as Beastmen. I haven't done it in a long time. Got this Han guy over here. If he's part of the Han clan, he could be pretty good. So I have to be on my toes here. Ooh, yeah, that's going to be tough. Going up against Dark Elves. Probably going to lose this, but let's play Beastmen. What do I want to do against the Dark Elves? The Dark Elves have so many options, it makes this a rather difficult decision. Let's see here. Kind of think through. Have a little bit of armor piercing. In terms of Lord, go with Morghur and let's see, items. Definitely want that. Only saves me a little bit if we need to. I don't think that's gonna be huge. You know what could be good? No, it's kind of generic, but let's get this Bray Shaman. Let's do something like that. Okay, let's fill out the rest of this army then. Man, 548, really? Two more to have 550 and I can't get it. It's kind of frustrating. So I don't know if this army will be great or not. I have a ton of stuff to try and disrupt skirmishers. Centaurs with great weapons could help against a monster. These guys could combine okay against cavalry. I've got a little bit of anti-armor infantry. I mean, I don't feel great about my chances because Dark Elves, in my opinion, are just a better faction if they get used right. So we'll just see what happens here. What I'm trying to do with this army, though, is just use a nice variety here from the Beastmen to give me a little bit of capability against quite a few different things. I think what we'd be kind of weak to here, like something like a Hydra. I mean, unless my Centaurs with great weapons can get a clean pick-off on it, I mean, we'd be weak to stuff like that. Because that's really, I don't have any dedicated anti-large here. Other than a couple of cheap spearmen. We do have the armor piercing of these Centaurs with great weapons, but Centaurs have pretty low leadership. And if this guy is a serious player like I think he could be, then this could be over for us pretty quick. So we'll see. But that's okay. This will be a good learning. Let's just test it out. Have some fun. I haven't played Beastmen in a long time. Someone mentioned it on the stream last night, and I wanted to play it, and they said, Air, how to use the Beastmen well. I think if you really want to see a better guide on the Beastmen, you should probably go check out Ninja Hun's army guide. So go to twitch.tv, find Ninja Hun, and type in like the exclamation point and then guide in his chat. It'll pop up an army guide. He plays the Beastmen really well and has a pretty high success rate with them. I don't know what his success rate is against, you know, players that he considers to be really good, but I'm sure that he does pretty well overall with them. So A lot of my army can Vanguard deploy, but that's not necessarily what I want. Because then I would be leaving some units behind here. I don't want those guys to be group 1 per se, but I'll switch that here in a minute. My strategy is honestly fairly generic here, and I'm worried that just a good army pick by the Dark Elves will be enough to derail me. The idea here is fairly simple. Use a Fate of Buna on a key unit to try and beat it down. These Bestigor herds will lose to an Executioner, but they're going to be better than if I had just brought all no armor piercing infantry, and Black Art Corsairs would still be pretty decent against a lot of these units. So, like I said, I think the Dark Elves have a pretty nice matchup here if they really want it. So, let's start. He's got a dragon, so I consider that to be some trouble here. Bleak swords, bleak swords. So bleak swords backed up by Corsairs. Dark Riders. The dragon is going to be a big problem here. And he's got that special Hydra. Yeah, I'm not liking our chances at this point. I'm gonna try and just... I can't really just ignore the Hydra, but I'm gonna have to. Got to get through these back lines if we want to have any... Just get through here. Alright, let's try and use... How do I not have enough? Man, I forgot Buna got... The cost of Buna went up. Let's get through here real quick. Just get through, get through, get through. Get through. Got some Dark Riders coming up from the flank. We cleaned up a little bit over here. Let's keep trying to push over. Got a little bit of damage done there in the center. It's actually going okay for us at the moment. Let's keep trying to wrap up. We caused a lot of damage very quickly here. Let's not blob up too bad. Use a cheap spearman, see if we can push these guys out for a minute. That dragon is going to cause terror. That's going to wreak havoc on us, and this Hydra is also going to wreak havoc. Let's try to move some of these Centaurs around. Let's get some infantry back in the fight. I mean, we did a ton of damage in the center, but it may not be enough. That's my concern. Alright, let's keep pulling units back in. Try and chase down as many of those guys as we can. still worried because we got to deal with that dragon and the big Hydra, and I don't think we can. And we're split up, chasing his crap all over the map. I've got a Buna that I could use on those Black Art Corsairs that would certainly help. We're gonna at least put up a good fight here, I think, even though it may not succeed. I wish he would bring those infantry over closer so I could Buna them. Maybe try and focus on that. I've got this magic left that I want to use, but I guess we'll just use it this way. Gotta make sure those crossbows don't come back. Intercept the regrouping infantry. Let's get these Centaurs back in the fight. Yeah, I'm just not sure we can hold our leadership together through the end of this. Keep our Centaurs moving here. We got our Fate of Buna off on this Corsair. That'll help. But like I said, I'm still just not sure that we've got the leadership left to pull this off. And I'm still using resources to try and get rid of these crossbows. One of his crossbows got distracted out here at the back of the map. Let's just pull this unit back away from it. We just lost our Death Shaman. That's bad news. The terror is taking its toll. So we put up a darn good fight and honestly won a lot of aspects of the fight, but I didn't really have the right tools to deal with these monsters, and I think I pointed that out at the beginning of the battle. If we could get our Death Shaman back, that would be brilliant, but it looks like he's dead. So yeah, victory out of the question at this point. We didn't deal with the Hydra. Got 106 kills. So GG. Hard-fought battle. You can see how the Beastmen can be a tough opponent. Hopefully this gives you all some feel for that. I mean, we definitely gave him a very difficult fight there. If we'd had a better way to deal with the dragon, could have been in better shape. Could have been in a lot better shape there. I expected him to bring some executioners, which he didn't. And that ended up being somewhat challenging. Just save that real quick. So it was a good battle. It was a good battle. We definitely killed a lot of enemy units. You can see the Centaurs and Centaurs with great weapons, capable of doing a lot of damage. You saw how I got around his back line. And we mopped up an infantry fight fairly quick for the most part. Not all of it, but we got a lot of it. And we even managed to cause quite a bit of damage to Malekith. But it wasn't enough over the course of that. In the end, Spirit Leech probably would have been the more appropriate pick. I did get to use one Buna that definitely hurt one of the Black Art Corsairs. But Spirit Leech probably would have been better if I could have just kept cranking it out and cranking it out and cranking it out on the Hydra. That would have helped pull it down some more. Centaurs with great weapons can definitely help cause a lot of damage to these units, like the Hydra or the Dragon. The problem is their leadership, and you've got to keep them in the fight for quite a while. And in that case, you saw how my units were just kind of routing and returning, routing and returning. That thing can happen pretty often with the Beastmen too, so it's just something you got to be prepared for. But yeah, I think Dark Elves definitely a tough matchup for the Beastmen, unless you all disagree. I think the one trump card they kind of have over the Beastmen is you saw that my opponent went pretty light on skirmishing here, which was smart, because this kind of thing right here will just, if someone picks the skirmishing build, it just makes you that much more likely to win, because you can destroy it with all of these units in the back line. So by him not picking any foot skirmishers, it made my job a whole lot more difficult to begin with, and by placing a monster like this Chill of Sontar and Malekith on a dragon, definitely a smart choice. You get the terror, and it makes the Beastmen kind of have to have that challenge of killing that large unit. So, fun battle. Appreciate Han for the good battle. It's okay, we lost that one. We put up a fun fight, but hopefully that gives you an idea of how I would suggest you use the Beastmen. Make sure that you bring a lot of infantry, overwhelm people. They're relatively fast. They have a good charge bonus. They have all those fast movers that can really rack up skirmishers. If people are crazy enough to bring a lot of skirmishers against you, it usually plays into your favor if you play that kind of army. But if you all have a good army with the Beastmen that you think is good for anti-large, that would have also maybe performed well here, like, I don't know, maybe some Minotaurs with great weapons would have helped out in that fight. I could definitely see that they could have potentially helped out there. There's definitely anti-large options and anti-armor options for the Beastmen. Kind of curious to see what you all think, but to me, the biggest thing the Dark Elves bring that makes it challenging is going to be Black Art Corsairs. Those guys are freaking good versus low armor infantry. They are good. So it's something you'd have to consider, how you would deal with something like that. And then Argoneth Executioners really are also kind of a trump card over Bestigors. So, interesting situation. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll be back soon with some more battles. I do hope you enjoyed it.